rhyming. So much evil in this world, I sit back like, why bother? But get a different view every time that I call dollar. It's like Numi got the Uzi, man, she always spitting facts. She be dropping bombs, make all of them double back. And then the crime raises. It's something that ain't never gonna get that, but it's cool, let's sit back and chit-chat.
You gotta be stoic, you can't be frail. If you get on the track, you can't derail. If you stick around long enough, you will for sure
be unveiled.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Unveiled Mindset podcast show, hosted by me, King Hemati, Dauda Kande, my real name, and my lovely wife here, Numso Kaba, aka Boogie.
Hey guys, you need to stop with the AKAs.
Let's go.
Hey guys, welcome to Unveiled Mindset podcast, where we are here to have enlightening, purpose-filled conversations that nurture growth and enlighten the mind.
Yep.
So for those of you who already know us, thanks for tuning in. This is going to be a really, really interesting conversation,
a great
episode. For those of you who are new, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you're notified every time we drop an episode. We have weekly episodes that are coming out, and make sure you're also, if you're more of an Apple podcast person or a Spotify person, guess what? We're on all platforms, so you can go ahead and listen to the audio.
Unveil_mindset on Instagram. We're gonna put the description, everything in the description.
Yep.
And also the subscribe button gonna be somewhere around here, or the subscribe notification sign gonna be somewhere either here or there. So just stay tuned. This is gonna be a great show, I promise you. So let's get into it. Today we have a special guest, a very, very special guest.
Yep.
Someone I've been knowing for years, a close relative. His brother was like one of my best friends. Today we're gonna be introducing Kabine Diane. He was also a groomsman at my wedding.
Yep.
Our fellow Guinean American.
Yes.
A cousin of mine. He's a successful cybersecurity consultant at a major Fortune 500 company with 8 years of experience in IT. He's also a director, a writer. He also produced commercials, documentaries, and for companies like DoorDash, and NAACP.
You've probably seen a ton of his work out
exactly.
there. So.
And he spent his time also staying current with the economy and investing in stock, crypto, and real estate. Soon, 2024, inshallah. 2024 is gonna be a major change.
Yeah.
Something that he's just gonna add on to some of his accolades and just become great. So what's up, Kabine Diane? What's up?
Hey, Kabine.
What's up? Yeah. So like you said, for me, real estate is the next step. You know, I've been into stocks for a while now. I think I got into stocks in college. First stock I remember buying was Starbucks.
Ooh.
You know, being on campus, I went to Michigan State. Right on Grand River, one thing you always see is Starbucks. You see all the students in the morning lining up to get coffee. The line was crazy. People late to class just for Starbucks. And as I'm learning about, buying stocks based on the value of companies, looking at, what has longevity. I looked at Starbucks, like they're probably going to be around for a long time. Coffee is something that's been part of society for ages. So that drew me into that. But now I want to get into real estate. And, I think it's a bigger commitment than buying stocks, Buy stocks today, you can sell it today. Sell it in a couple of years if you want to, but real estate, it's a lot that goes into it. So I've really been learning a lot more about that, getting as much information I can.
Oh yeah.
Really trying to gauge where I want to go, looking at different cities, different types of houses, and so that's the next step for me this year.
Real estate,
and that's super exciting. And honestly, like, I think it was very important for us to have you on the podcast. With someone with your background and everything like that, I feel like. It just really makes things a lot more tangible for people. So say like there are other Guineans, whether in the diaspora or, back on the continent, that want to get into that field, right? Into the technology field.
Yeah.
So it's really, really important, to have representation and to be able to view that representation and share that representation.
Yeah.
And also understand kind of like how you got to where you got, where you got to, right? Especially being kind of like first generation into this country. But getting just right into the discussion, the main thing first, so you kind of gave a brief overview about what you want to get into 2024 from an investment perspective. What about, can you provide a brief overview of your current like professional life? Dauda did an amazing job with your introduction, but right now kind
Appreciate
of the
it.
main things, the main things you kind of you cover, and this can be very brief because I really want to kind of go through like some of the background, right? Baby Kabine, growing up, you know. So let's get into that.
So currently, like you said, I'm a cybersecurity consultant, and for people who
And what does that mean?
So cybersecurity consultant, basically, of course, I work in cybersecurity. I have good knowledge of primarily cloud security right now, working for a cloud company. Basically, I work with customers to help them accelerate their business outcomes, meaning when companies want to bring their businesses to the cloud, whether it's for cost saving, whether they want to have the ability to control the resources and not be working on a fixed price for the computing resources or anything else that they're using, you know, they come to the cloud because then it, you know, can save them costs and they'll have more room for innovation. It just gives them a lot more flexibility. So I help with the security side of things, securing their workloads, making sure that data is protected or whatever security components may be needed are actually used to protect their data and things like that. So, and I like it because I'm not stuck with just working with one customer. So I work with different companies all the time and, you know, get to see, you know, their business and how they do things. And it gives me good perspective. So it's definitely fun. I like it.
I got something, another question to ask. So as far as technology, right? So like, was it like always like, at what point did you realize that, you know, technology is something that you want to get into?
So I was always into technology, but I didn't think about it from a career perspective. Yeah. You know, for me, media and film and directing and creating things, telling stories was always my focus. You know, there was a period in college where, like, you know, I mean, of course, we all love money. So, like, finance was, I want to do finance. And the more I looked at it, like banking and all that, it was just like, I wanted to do it, but I'm like, I won't be happy there. Yeah, the money was good, but like, I need something where I can make that money, but I'm definitely going to be happy there. You know, media is not something that people, especially our families, they like, when they go work in film, like, what is that even like? What do you get out of that?
It was almost impossible. Like,
yeah, but I told myself, like, listen, all the decisions I've made for myself have got me to where I am in life now. So if I let someone dictate that for me or decide what I'm going to do and not do this because other people feel some type of way, then I'm kind of stepping out of my element. For sure. I'm not doing what got me here in the first place. I stayed with that. But I realized, I think around the time I really started getting into Bitcoin, and I was like, I was into the tech, and I realized, like, I spent a lot of time with this technology stuff. I'm really on computers, and I love, like, the hacking aspect. Hacking is, like, the part that really got me into the cybersecurity part, because I just like the fact that there's people out there that have the skills to really, like, abuse might not be the best word, but people who can manipulate computers and make it do things that you might not think it's intended to do, like the fact that I really like that, So I think that's what drove me to take the technology. And that didn't happen until later in college, actually. The first few years I was focused on, like, I had the finance stuff going on and then the media. And then I realized, like, towards the end of college, like, I'm good with finance. I'm good with computers and technology and cybersecurity. So I pursued that. And I split my time for years. So I have my regular job doing IT. And then when I'm not working, I'm writing, directing, doing stuff. And
that's good.
That's how that started.
And so that kind of so that gets us into kind of like the unveiled moment, right? That's like a turning point, of when you felt like, okay, this is something that I want to do, and how that developed. So that was a really great explanation. But and then you mentioned hacking is what really got you interested into kind of what you're doing now in the security aspect of things. In terms of, like, were there any influential or any, impact that happened, right? Whether it's an experience, a person, or even a book or a podcast or something like that, any significant influences in your life that you feel like has led to where you are today. And I like to think about things like, if you think about an airplane, right? You think about 2 flights leaving, going to separate destination, or like even just 1 flight leaving, going to a destination. Any kind of degree change in the flight's course, right, in the beginning or as it's going through its journey, can land the flight in miles away, right? In a completely different continent, potentially, right? Depending on how much the degree is. So what was that degree for you?
You know, there's a lot of moments that I could honestly say from college, or even going back to high school, because a lot of people have been there and like influenced me in some type of way. But I think the moment that has the biggest impact on the moment where I am today is probably during the pandemic. I have a really close friend named Eugene, and he's a person I really like working with because we really throw a lot of ideas back and forth. And he's one of those people I can throw the wildest idea, and it's like, you know, he takes it. He actually like goes through and processes it with me. We try to make sense out of it. During the pandemic, you know, I've always did stocks, but I was telling him like, yo, I don't know if you've ever got into this at all, but you should like try. And we really started like playing with stocks, and we started doing like really well, you know. And I had a conversation with him, and he like was telling me how like, you know, being with you, I like working as partners and having like this film company. We started a film company like our third or last year of college or whatever. He was telling me basically like, pretty talented. Like, you come with good ideas. Like, I would never probably got into this myself. I have 401k and all that, but like you showed me this is like great. And like I realized like, damn, film has been the same way. And tech is kind of the same. I realized like, I know I've been good in the fields that I'm in. I know I like have a lot of knowledge and I work hard, but I'm like, I really have even more potential than I believe. I can go a lot further.
You can do more.
Yeah. So I really realized like, damn, we're powerful with what we do, and the people that I'm around are like really good. You know, there's no way that I've always set the bar high for myself. I'm like, damn, why not push it even higher, like crazy far? Start thinking about going 10 times as far than we were. And I think that was the moment. And that was fairly recent. Like I said, there were times before that were unveiled moments for you, but that's the most recent that really pushed me. And you know, after college, you had this downtime period because most of my life I feel like I've been working and going. Now it's time for me to really reflect after college. So I didn't go immediately into working, but that was the moment that spurred me into it again. Because I remember shortly after that, we were shooting a lot more. You know, I went to another company and doing stuff, and then not too long after that, maybe like a year or two, is when I like moved and you know.
And the trip to Africa also.
Actually, yeah, the trip to Africa was very important. And it was perfect timing because after all of that happened, you know, with Eugene, going to Africa really opened my eyes. You know, I intended to go to Africa for a couple months, not too long. I ended up staying there for a year.
Wow.
That really, and, you know, a lot of us don't do that. You know, we go back, spend 2-3 months. Even my parents were like, okay, yeah, go do your 2 months, 3 months, but you're not born.
So you technically lived there for a year.
Yeah, I lived there for a year.
That's great.
And I definitely want to get into that experience, but before we do so, let's take it back. Okay. Growing up, where did you grow up? Where are you from? Where are you born? I know you're Guinean. Were you born here? Did you come here at a certain age? Yeah. Let's talk through that.
So I was born here in the U.S. in Michigan. Grew up in early years around Ann Arbor. It's crazy as I had 2 older brothers, but they weren't in the country at that time. So for a good amount of time, I was actually the only child. And then, you know, my other little brother came, you know, a little bit after me. So grew up there in Ann Arbor.
Okay. So 4 of you.
No, my older brothers hadn't come yet.
Okay, so it was
my older brothers didn't come till later.
So it was 3 of y'all.
2 of us.
Okay.
It was 2 of us at that point. Me and my younger brother.
Okay.
And then eventually, you know, my parents always told me I had brothers in Africa, that they'd be coming eventually. You know, it's like,
whatever.
As a kid, you're like, what does that even mean? And I was enjoying kind of being a star at that moment. I'm the only star, you know. So eventually, you know, my brothers did come, and they just popped up. You know,
out of nowhere.
House, like, I'm feeling like I'm the prince of the house, and then them 2 pop up, and I'm just like, they're like, yeah, these are your brothers. I'm like, okay. And me being the kid I was testing them to see what kind of person they are. Because as a kid, I was like, loved to have fun. But I was like, you know, I was bad. I was, you know, wilding.
Real bad.
Everybody testing people. My oldest brother, he was like, you know, was very receptive. He was fun to hang out with, you know, or whatever. So, you know, that was a, you know, good experience with him. And my other brother, we all have different personalities too. My other brother is like, you know, like, he was looking like, what's wrong with him? Like, why does he act up so much? I'm like, okay, I can't do my nonsense to him. I can't do that with him. Yeah, you know. So, you know, that's how, you know, we kind of all started growing into each other. And after a while, it felt like we had never been apart. You know?
Yeah.
That's
you can tell. Like, I didn't know that that's how it was. Like, I didn't know that you guys like were not together for a minute, and then they end up coming to the country, and then
Yeah.
you can tell because by the time I came, you guys were already like, it was middle school, 7th grade for me, and then like the chemistry was already there, you know, like so you can't tell, you know, unless you tell, you can't tell.
I had never spoken to them before they came.
Really?
Yeah, because I always to my parents, I thought it was just like, because, you know, growing up in Africa, you know, your parents are always on the phone talking to people in Africa. And this is before WhatsApp or Messenger, so it wasn't just like, you going to buy $20 phone cards.
Yep, the phone cards.
Yeah. So I never spoke to them because I always assumed it was just like some, you know, Africans, we're close. So like somebody could be literally a family friend. They'd be like, no, this your brother. You know what I mean? So
And plus, as a kid, it don't take that like long in order for kids to gel.
Yeah.
You know, they got something in common. They go play outside or they play the video game. Next thing you know, boom, that chemistry just get built.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, and it helped because one thing with being born here in the U.S., being African, a lot of us, a good amount of people grow up here, and our parents like will push English. You know what I mean? That becomes the thing for us, and we don't really speak our language. So when we get around people who are like really more like use our native language more, there comes a disconnect. Me being born here, my first language was our native language, which is crazy because being born here,
Malinke, Mandingo.
Yeah. So my first few years of elementary school, I was actually in ESL. School thought it was weird. Like, how was a kid born?
I was telling Dada about ESL. He said he came in. They didn't put him in ESL.
Yeah.
No, they didn't put me in, so I put myself in.
So I took it 2 years with the funny, and I had like this. I had like an Asian coach, and he was like teaching me English and getting up to speed with it. Because by that point, I was pretty good in their language, but English, they were just like, there's just something lacking. But I picked it up really quick, and I was doing really well in school. But when they came, I was able to like immediately start communicating with them, and it was like, all right, boom.
No, that's great.
Yeah. So
you got another question?
No, go ahead if you have.
Okay, so so your experience without your brothers, can you just elaborate on it real quick? Because I got something to ask after that.
Without my brothers, like I said, I was the only child for a little period of time here because I had 2 brothers back home, but my parents just had me here, so they were really focused on me. And then I did have a little brother, but you know, my parents had a good hand. Like my dad was one of the people who would actually show up to my school for stuff, and he was like actually very involved.
Yeah.
Like, and it's funny because a lot of people here remembers, but like one of my favorite things in life was skating.
Yeah, that's true.
My dad got me.
I never understood it.
I don't know why to this day, but he bought me a skateboard as a kid, and that was like my favorite thing to this day. I think that is one thing that changed my life because as a kid growing up, other kids ridicule you and be like, "You black, like, and you like living in the hood. What are you skating?
Yeah, why are you skating, bro?"
But I started realizing, like, damn, like even as a kid, maybe I didn't fully understand the concept, but I'm like, they limit themselves to doing like a very select few things.
Yeah,
I'm like, I can't do this because I'm black. Once I branched into that and I had that mindset, it allowed me to get into other things.
So
like,
that's
I won't
interesting.
limit myself.
But go ahead, Dada.
So pretty much you're saying like, because you're not doing the typical things that like other black kids like, you know, participate in their neighborhood, right? They look at you, they like, you're not cool, you're uncool at that point. Exactly. So skateboard, they look at you like, oh, this guy's weird. But you're saying if you put limitation on your mindset, you won't be able to grow. So a lot of those people are still in that mindset today.
Exactly.
So you went from the skateboard was only a step for you to just open up other doors to get somewhere else.
It's a huge step. Like I got into fights over that. Like, why skateboard? I'm just like, bro, why would I?
So now to add,
that's an unveiling moment.
I'm glad you said it. That's very an unveiled moment. You got to look at the camera when you said that. That was very
That's
unveiling.
an unveiling moment.
Yeah. And to add on that, right, because this is funny, because basically the reason why I asked you that is because I want to know like the time, right? The 2 different times, right? So you, without your brothers being here, you know, it seemed like, you know, you're not a loner, but you were only one. So, right. So when your brothers came, right, what changed? Like in terms of not only like, you know, the dynamic or the chemistry at home with your brothers and the family, but what changed outside of that in the community, in the neighborhood? What happened? Did you feel like, more empowered when it came? Did you feel more bullyish? Like, did you feel like, oh, okay, like I got my skateboard, but I was by myself. I didn't say a lot. Then when you guys were talking bad about me, talking down about me, since my brother is here and my older brother is like that. Yeah. So am I gonna go and stick my chest out and provoke people and then go get my older brother?
Yeah, I'm not. Okay, that's a funny question, because I'm not gonna lie. Before my brothers came, I used to get into, a lot of fights. I did well in school, but at the same time, my dad get frustrated because I would get into these fights, but he knew why. Because at that time, I think I was by myself, so it'd be like these little fights or whatever, and they would try to make me out to always African, and so I'd end up fighting and and it was frustrating for my parents, because most of the time, if I'm getting suspended, that's what it was about. Yeah. So when we moved and my brothers came, what's funny is a lot of those kids in that neighborhood in the other city that I did get into, they actually lived pretty close to us in a new city. Yeah. Until my brothers came. Like I said, as I was playing with my brothers and getting used to them and like understanding their character, I realized like they were actually, like you said, he was really like, they could fight. My brothers were actually like that. So I'm like, okay, this is something new. And the style was different. So it wasn't that, like, when I would play fight with them, they would do things that I would be shocked, like, whoa. You know what I mean?
This is taking another turn.
So cool. We started going to school. The kids would always be funny and all that. And I couldn't wait. I'm like, bad. I can't wait till they start talking crazy and whatever. So when they saw my brothers, they realized, like, they, like, fresh. They just came. Started cracking their jokes and all that. And my brothers wouldn't understand at first. So I would tell them, like, he's trying to be funny, whatever. I remember the first fight on the school bus. Somebody said something to my brother. They said something to him. He didn't understand. I told him what he said. Oh, my God. If you remember in the school bus under, there's like the little foot area. Yeah. Beat the kid and put him under there and just kept kicking him and whooping him. And the other kids are looking like, bro, this makes no sense. He's strong.
Where the heck is this? Where is this grown man strength coming from? This little body.
That's that kunta strength.
That's crazy.
So they didn't know them, my brothers, and they were like trying to no to violence and all that. And I just opened it to them. I'm like, y'all want to be funny, make jokes, but I'm gonna let y'all do it. Yeah. At the time they realized, we're probably not the ones to be playing with. You know what I mean? Then the dynamics shifted a little bit as we grew, continued and got more. So like it was still stressful, because now I have 5 brothers at this point, but now you're getting whole neighborhoods. I remember at one point where there was a fight, there was like 20, 25 kids in the neighborhood, you know what I mean?
Try to jump on them.
All came, want to fight us or whatever, and it's like over nothing. All because they feel like we're different, so they want to impose themselves on us, But, that happened, and they just couldn't win. They just were not used to this, because, like, my brothers, even I wasn't used to. They grew up in Africa, and they were, like, talented in things that I just did not know. Like, you know what I mean? So,
because, a thing about Africans back home, like, there's a thing where, like, there's no such thing as, like, taking an L, right? Meaning, like, when you lose, you just lost, right? But that person that lost, always gonna come back, because in their mind, only gotta get one W. Yeah. Meaning you can beat me up as long as you want, but every day you're gonna have to worry about me. So they have that mentality, so you can't. It's like, okay, we're just gonna be fighting. We're not keeping score. Every time I see you, it's up. Yeah. So they have that mentality already. So if you do something to them, they go home and start plotting on coming back in that way, in that regard, right? Yeah. So that's just the African way. That's the Guinean way.
And then to your question of like feeling empowered, one dynamic was that with my brothers coming and everything shifting like that, because now it's like you're around the city or you're around school, and like people are more careful how they approach you, so people aren't just bothering me, man. So in one way it was good, because they were there and people aren't gonna like test me in a certain way now. People always say, nah, that's like ADOLESCENT's little brother, that's Amadou's brother, like don't
Big Zay.
So it allowed me more to like do with my education and like sports.
That's really
and everything good. Without having to fight. But at the same time, I felt some of the burden, because it was like they spent a lot of time like getting into fights and doing a lot of stuff and having to like, deal with people or whatever if they like did anything to me. And a lot of times it wouldn't be like me going to call them. It would just be like they'll hear about something or something will be happening. They'll just come like move me, and I felt bad, because it's like, damn, it's almost became their job in a sense to do this, and it's becoming a burden on. And I don't want their life to just be about fighting and doing all that stuff. Yeah, it's opening. I'm free. I can just walk around smiling at people like, not gonna really do anything to me. You're not crazy.
Right.
At the same time, I don't want that to be like their lives, like just, you know, having to fight people and all that. So I was always on the border about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that, like, overall, it sounds like from the childhood perspective, like from a very young age, you had certain interests that stood against the grain, right, in that particular neighborhood. And we even had, you know, we have discussions regarding like your environment, regarding the pressures to kind of fall in line. And so, and being able to make your own way, right, create your own path, right. We have the Unveil Law 1. And so, and I think that literally what you've just explained falls within the theme of that, which, and Dauda can go ahead and you know, explain what that is. But it literally shapes that, where you were able to create your own future and discover what it is that you're interested in, because you didn't allow others' opinion of you impact you. And even though some of their opinions, unfortunately, came with physical attack. And I think that it's maybe the fact that your brothers came at a specific age kind of helped as well, because it helped reinforce you to continue to have that support and to continue to blossom. Otherwise, who knows? A lot of people, you know, when it comes to time and stuff like that, they'll crumble, or they'll kind of give in because they're tired of being made fun of, or being physically, you know, attacked and things like that.
Yeah, and that was great. I like the way you put that.
You want to tell them what the Unveiled Law is?
Yeah, we're gonna do that, right? But I want to clarify something, right?
Yeah.
Because everything he's talking about right now, his experience and all of that, with, like, you know, the kids bullying him and looking at him like weird with the skateboard and all of that. At that time, like, everybody's young, right? Everybody's trying to find themselves, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that those people were bad people.
Yep.
It's just we're in this environment, clogged up, clustered in this one area.
Yep.
So everybody's trying to find what they want to be or what they want to do, right?
Yep.
So those kids were just doing what they
product of their environment,
right?
As well.
So, and so for me, like, what was the turning point for you, right? At what moment did you realize that I was different? And, like, did you know right away when you were young, or did it take you like later on in your, like, mature age to realize that, yo, I want to be something different. I want to do something different. But at the same time, did you notice all along when you were a kid, or did something change at one point? Is where, like, can you give us like a moment that was unveiling to you, that was like, oh my God, this is it. This is what I got to do. This is the step I got to take.
And not just based on interest, right?
Yeah.
Not just based on, I noticed that I like to skateboard, they don't like to skateboard, but based on like mind, like consciously acknowledging that.
Yeah.
I think,
and maybe it's hindsight. I don't know.
Yeah.
The skateboarding piece was like the first, you know, that was definitely like the first step there. That let me know. But that was more so from an interest level of just doing things. I realized, like, we played football. We used to play pick 'em up, mess 'em up, and all of that. And that was wonderful. But the fact that I'm skateboarding, people think that's weird. I'm like, bro, we're not just limited to playing that all day. There's other stuff that we can do. Like, this skateboarding is actually fun. I actually enjoy this. And it brought me around different groups of people I otherwise never would have. Because there's people in school that you never talk to and all that. And then they're seeing you skateboarding. Like, oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, where'd you pick that up? Oh, I skateboard, so I do this. So I started hanging out with kids in my neighborhood who I ended up going to college with years later. I would have never knew them if I never did that. And some of them, you know, that was just a good experience. That's something that stuck with me. Even when we saw each other on campus freshman year, it's like, oh, wow, I haven't seen you since, like, elementary school. Oh, you're Kabine, right? We used to skate together. Like, you know, I met a lot of people through stuff like that. But then the second, probably the next important one, I used to read a lot. And what got me into reading was, like, Harry Potter.
What got you into reading? That is a good question, because...
Yeah. When, you know, I remember I told you I was in ESL. And
you said that.
And I had, you know, he was a big piece of that. And then I had a teacher, Miss Caviani, second grade. She used to come to school early in the morning before school year started, and I would come there and meet her, and we would just do projects. Like, she would just do stuff with me, like teach me stuff, spend time. Like,
was this mandatory?
No, this wasn't mandatory. She just,
so you
like,
took it upon yourself to.
This was her. Like, she really would tell me, like, come early. Like, I want to help you. Like, learn different things. Like, we would just do projects together. Just be me and her. Like, I'd learn a lot through this. She just took a liking to me.
Shout out to Kaviani.
Yeah, Miss Kaviani, for sure. Yeah. And, you know, she got me into reading, and there were books she would give me and all that. And then I started going through and choosing, like, my own books. I remember, like, Harry Potter was, like, the book that I liked. And when I started reading this Harry Potter book, whatever, and people thought it was crazy. Like, my brothers looked at me. Even
in an African household. Like, I mean, I don't want to generalize, but based
I definitely watched the movie. I didn't read the book.
Based on the people that I know and, like, other Guinean families and things like that, like, I feel like it's not often that you see parents sitting at home reading and you're watching the parents read, you're watching the aunts and uncles read, or the siblings are here reading. I think a lot of times people will come, you know, and what they're coming to this country, they're busy working, they're trying to make sure that they're providing for the family, right? They've left everything behind back in the countries that they left, you know? Yeah. And so to have influences like that, to influence you to sit and read. And I think reading definitely, like, helps to unlock the mind and, like, think further about, and also just your skills, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So
she got me into that. And, you know, my parents at the time, you know, stuff was hard. So, and the books weren't expensive, but it was like at the time like $25 or $20 in a book. It was hard to get. So I remember, like, I really wanted these books, and if I couldn't get the money, certain books, they had the Scholastic Book Fair. I would go in there and just fidget around, and I would, like, steal one of the books to take it. So I, like,
Mr. Klepto.
And I tried everything. I tell my parents, like, I want this Harry Potter book. It's like, look, we can get that right now. So I remember I'd go in the Scholastic Book Fair and steal it. And I felt bad, but I'm like, I really want to read this book. And by the fourth book, you know, that was so good. I spent so much time. I read it. It's a thick book. I read it in like a few days. And that was what irked my brother. Because they're like, yo, you've been laying here reading this stupid book for so long. Like, and they, you know, and they made fun of me, and I was bothered. And then when I would try to talk to people about it and the different stuff and then how people reacted, I think that was the moment. And I was just like, okay. Not only did the skateboarding influence me to step out of my interest, but I'm like, I'm different from all of these people, because the way I look at life, and I started realizing the potential, like, okay, I probably can't become Harry Potter and start doing magic. And I'm going to try to do magic in this life, but that translated to doing magic, to, like, changing the course of my family and doing different things. But I'm like, I'm going to do things.
Say that again. I'm not going to, he said, I may not be like Harry Potter and do magic, but I'm going to do magic in my life and for my family and change how things are.
Yeah. So, you know, that became my goal. I didn't know what I wanted to do yet, but I'm like, you know, and I looked at a lot of different things. I had a lot of interests. I did a lot of different stuff, and I saw myself even as a young child doing crazy different things, and that more than helped me, it made me. So yeah, you know what I mean,
that's insane.
So the more book you read, the worse you got as a kid. Because boy, we gotta get into that, right? So, like, all you know, that was all cute, right? It's great, right? It's cute, but we gotta get more exposure, right? Because, you know, it's good to sit here and just talk about all your accolades, all the pros, some of the cons, but majority of the pros, right? But we need to get into it, because every kid go through that, like, moment where they're, like, completely bad, terrible. And some kids stay in that for the rest of their lives. And some kids, the trajectory of being bad is like this. And then when they get to a certain point, they just go down and start becoming, you know, okay or good, you know?
Yeah.
So I want to ask you that. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad were you as a kid? You got to keep it 100. How bad were you as a kid? Because I will give you my rating too.
The age rating. Yeah. We should do it by age. We should do it by age range.
Okay.
Not every age, but, like, range.
Because I was 12. I believe you was 11 or 10.
10 and 11.
Okay. So I want you to take a guess first. From like, let's say from the time I met him, right?
Okay.
Because the time I met him from
from 10 to, like, 16.
Yeah, from 10 to 18. No, okay, 16. Because Yeah,
18 is a whole adult. You gotta switch things up.
I'm not
18,
gonna lie to you.
18.
Like
We got even past 18, bro.
18 is a whole.
my childhood to about the end of high school.
Oh, it's not even 10 to 18. It's like from no. But when you Miss what was her name?
Kaviani.
Okay, so when you used to go to Miss Kaviani, I'm pretty sure like it was pretty. You were still good, right?
Yeah, that 1 or 2 hours in the morning.
You pretend.
Ah.
So what's your rating? How bad you think he was on a scale of 1 to 10?
Wow. I mean, okay, so
take a guess. Just take a guess.
I'm a guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a guess from youth to about 9. I would say like
No, let's just do
6.
from like
6. I would
okay.
say a 6.
Let's just do from like 10 to like 18.
From 10 to 18 or 17 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, I mean, based on like stories that I've heard from you guys. So I would say like maybe like an 8.
Okay. What about you, Hansi?
You know?
9.5.
He said 9.5.
Okay. I'm going to give I'm going to keep it honest. Like, you guys are too harsh. That's crazy. I'm going to give a 15 out of 5. Boy, because I feel like 15 would I feel like 10 would end you in like juvenile prison. No, listen, you have to understand.
Or detention center, whatever.
Bro, just because you like, sometimes people do horrible thing and never get caught. So now let me tell you my experience, right? And then with this experience, y'all can tell me like on a scale of 1 to 10 how bad that experience is. And if y'all want, I can keep going. I got stories for days. Boom, right? Let me put my laptop to the side. So mind you, 2005 I showed up. West Middle School was the middle school we went to. I don't speak no English. Every class I had with his older brother, Alassane, right? Because I didn't speak the language, so he was helping me with all of that. But first of all, he copied everybody in class. He was supposed to be helping me, so he was like, "Yo, whatever I write down, you write down, okay?" I didn't peep the game first, and he was like, then I realized I'm like, he keep doing this, looking at the white girl Sarah. He always sit next to her, like, let's go sit next. I'm like, well, you got a crush on her? The whole time, no, he just wanted to copy her so we can pass. It was good, but then after that, I called him out. But so me and his older brother got into it, right? We always kept getting into it or whatever. So like every hour he got this red Timbs on, right? I'm not gonna say why he got the red Timbs on. If you know, you know. He got this red Timbs on every time. He's just wiping it, doing this. I'm like, bro, we in class. Why you not paying attention? You always wiping your shoes. He was like, man, you just jealous because you ain't got no swag and I got all this swag. I got all these girls or whatever. So I was like, man, you keep talking to me like I'm gonna write on your Timberlands. He was like, I bet you won't. Now, mind you, I don't know like how strong and how, he's known. Like, I don't know that, right? So his family is like, when his family, you don't know the outside. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I took a permanent marker. Now, mind you, everybody know about Alassane with his red Timbs, right? He's the only guy in Michigan that dress, walk, talk like he's from New York, right? It's like, his dream was to move to New York. So look, we sitting down, bro. He's not paying attention. I got mad. So I took the permanent marker. I started like writing on his shoes. I didn't even write nothing, bro. I was writing. I almost put my signature on it, bro. So, and I tapped him. I said, look. He was like, bro, he looked at me. I said, I told you. Now, mind you, I don't know what I'm getting into. I was like, yeah. I'm like, I told you I was going to do that. I'm like, don't play with me. Ooh. Come to find out, I had no idea. It's like driving in the hood, right? And you got no idea you're in the hood. You just out there, with you leave the keys in the car. You just got your wallet out. Right. So I don't know. So he looked at me. Woo. So, but the funny thing is, he didn't even do nothing to me. Because he probably thought it's like, he's new, whatever. No, I said, okay. He didn't, because he didn't do nothing, that don't mean nothing, anything, something happened to me. So
what happened?
That's what I'm about to get. And then y'all gonna give me the rating. So after class, I go, because we shared lockers. So I go over there, try to grab my jacket, everything is new to me. So I throw my jacket on the floor, taking my bag out. So I'm kind of like, pause. I'm kind of bending over, right? Putting my stuff in my bag. I lied to you not. Bro, all I hear, a foot. I heard loud. I heard somebody walking real fast. Bing, bing. Kabine got some big ass feet. So bing, bing, bing. And then before I even turn around, somebody kicked me in my butt. Like, bro, I swear to God, bro. Look, I'm over. Like, listen, I'm like grabbing stuff and putting it in my bag. Kabine come and kick me. Boom, bro. Wallahi, I gotta take my headphones off, bro. Bro, listen. Lie to you not. I'm like this, right? Putting my stuff in the bag, right? In my backpack, right? Boom, boom, boom. By the time I turn around and look, Kabine kicked me. Boom, my head go like this, right? To the locker. So I turn around. Right? So I turn around and look up. And when I look up,
your head went in the locker.
Yes, it boom. And I came out because I'm trying to see who did it. So I look, right? And then I see other son. He laughing. And I look, it's his brother. No. Funny thing is, I didn't even know that was his brother. I thought that was just his friend, right? Because, whatever. Because Kabine was a little taller than him. Because other son's short. So I started chasing him. On top of that, he run track. So this man, now mind you, this is like maybe like the second week, right? Like second week here.
Oh, your second week in America.
And as not in America, but like, in school, right?
Okay.
So Kabine, he kicked me, he started running, so I started chasing him. Man, what a wrong move. Now mind you, I don't know where I'm going, right? So he doing boom, he going left, right. I'm gonna catch you. I'm running, I'm chasing him. He cutting it all. He went to the gym. I followed him to the gym, and he took the back door and left. So I was like, I can chase him, but if I keep chasing him, he's gonna go to his bus. By the time I find my way back to the locker, like my bus gonna leave, and I don't have no phone. I don't speak no English. I don't know how to get home. Nothing, right? So, like, people always talk about. The first time I got bullied was by my own people. What a saying, right? So look, so I started chasing. He ran, right? So I come back. I find my way as I'm getting there, like almost halfway. His brother already put my stuff in the bag and then brung it to me, right? So I snatched my bag.
So he got his brother to kick your ass.
Yep. Like
pun intended.
Yes. Like boom, put my head went to the locker.
Kick your butt, whatever.
Man.
And then got your back for you because he wanted to make sure you were good.
Exactly, right? But the funny thing is when he did it, I'm chasing him. I can hit. This is funny, right? Whenever something go bad, unless it's food, that's when he really get angry. But anything else, even if it's bad and terrible, Kabine's gonna laugh, right? So when he kicked me, now mind you, that's assault. I could have pressed charges, right? But if I didn't know the language, if I did, well, Lord be like that, I would have pressed charges. So look, so now I go right to go. He brought my backpack to me, right? And now I'm crying. He was like, man, don't cry, because I guess they can bring a lot of attention to the principal. He said, no. So I was like, I'm telling his brother, give me your mom number so I can call her and tell her what he did to me. And I was like, I'm gonna call your mom, and I'm gonna call your mom. He said, okay, go ahead, go. I don't care. Like he said, she ain't gonna say nothing. So what you think? What you think I did?
You called the mom?
Exactly what I did, bro. So I went home. I grabbed I didn't have a cell phone, the home phone. I'm pressing number whatever. So I called. She picked up. She said, hello. I said, hello, Tansire. That's what I'm like, Tansire. She's like, hey, yeah. I said, Dauda. He said, hey, Dauda, ça va pas. I'm like, nothing, ça va pas. It's not good.
She said, oh, are you good? He said, no, I'm not good.
So,
everything's not good.
Tansire, I know she playing me too. Now I know she playing me. She was like, hey, he said, what happened? I said, Kabine today attacked me while I was attacking. He said, Kabine. He said, I swear to God, right? I remember this to this day. Kabine's like, in Monica, he said, what does Kabine do again? Meaning like, why would Kabine do that? I was like, in my head, I'm like, I don't know. That's your son. Like, so I'm like, so I'm telling him, I'm like, ooh. So I'm giving her like a good story, right? I'm adding more sauce to it, a little bit of maji, black pepper, all of that, right? I'm making gumbo, right? So I'm fixing the story to make it look worse. But it was bad though. Mind you, I don't speak no English. I just got kicked in my butt. Right? So she's like, okay, don't worry. I'm gonna talk to Kabine about it. Okay. He's like, I didn't sue him. I mean, he's gonna find out what's gonna happen to him. I was like, great. In my head, I'm like, mission accomplished. You're gonna get whooped. Man, come back to school, this man happy, nothing happened. I'm like, yeah, call your mom. He said, so she didn't do nothing. So I was like, nah. So from that day on, look, I swear to God, from that day, me and Kabine always had beef. I swear to God, we always had beef, bro. And that's the story. Now from that story, I'll be honest, right? And I'm gonna let him tell it, because he cannot say it didn't happen. From that story, did it happen or did not happen? Confirm before we give the ratings. Confirm.
I saw the Timbs,
okay,
and I know
hold
my
on.
brother.
Question for you on the other side of this story, right? Have you guys ever talked about this? On the other side of the story, at what point did you see the Timbs, and did you volunteer yourself as tribute to go handle the situation?
Oh yeah. So because I came from the 6th grade hall. Our building was sectioned: 6th grade hall, 7th grade hall, 8th grade hall, and then at the end, it was this girl in the 7th grade hall I had a crush on.
We ain't gonna say her name, right?
Not
Okay.
Absolutely not.
I got another story for that, but we ain't gonna say no name. But go ahead.
I would always come try to hang around there and just do funny stuff. And then my brother would be there too, so whatever. So I know my brother. I know those Timbs to him is Might as well be a child, his child. And I see writing on there. I'm like, oh, somebody's about to die. He told me he did. I was like, okay. You know, I love playing at this point. I get a kick out of doing stuff. So I'm like, you know, and we initiating him. We showing him like, welcome to America.
Yep.
I see he's bent over. Oh my God. I'm like, I come running, kick him, bro. Bro goes into the locker. I'm laughing. He's just, yeah, so it happened. You know, but hey, I was doing my part.
And then when you got home, did your mom say anything to you?
Honestly, I don't remember her saying nothing to me
Yeah.
about that.
I definitely caught her. That's how I know she
You
didn't.
know, but the thing is, my parents know that I do bad stuff, but at the same time, they have this belief that I'm like an angel. They don't see me doing
That's what
that.
she said. Hey,
I hope that she didn't watch this. Ibrahim, I hope you watch this.
You know, and I'm a good person. You know, they never see me. You know, I did getting stuff into school, but it was always like, oh, somebody messed with him. You know, so at that time, yeah, my
That
parents.
is hilarious.
So based on that story.
Okay. Based on that story, I don't know. It's going to have to go up to a 9.5, 10.
So, but 9.5, that's
because it didn't happen to him. So and then he could have handled it by, you know, having a conversation.
Nah, she talking about 9.5. When I got kicked, my head felt like it was on 10. So that's 10 out of 10. I don't want to hear that. I said, what's your rating based on that? Keep it a buck. Imagine. Huh?
His rating didn't even change because it was 9.5 before.
Man, at least he could have went 9.6. Nah, that's crazy. But that's how I was introduced. That's how they introduced me, bro.
I was a terrible kid, though.
Yeah.
But it was like, they thought something was wrong because he's like, he does well in school, but then he goes and does something bizarre. You know what I mean? It got so bad.
Bizarre, peculiar.
It got so bad. I remember I went to counseling.
Yeah.
My parents used to come with me to like counseling.
Really?
And I got kicked out of the counseling. Because, you know, one day we went for like, you know, every end of the week they come and share with your parents, like kind of evaluation, like what they think. And I'm sitting in the middle, counselor sitting to my left, my mom sitting to my right. As a kid, I'm just sitting there. And she says something I don't like. I don't know. I got upset and I like elbowed the counselor in the stomach and it kicked me out of the program, bro. I was terrible. So every year it was like something new that I was just into. One summer, I was into fire. Like, what is it called? Pyrotechnic, whatever it is. All summer, I'm just getting in trouble for setting stuff on fire. Started with the little trash can. Like, not the little trash, you know, the big green dumpsters. My mom's over there visiting one of her friends, so I'm playing with a lighter. I light something, throw it in there, whatever. The fire starts small. All the kids in the neighborhood is just watching. It gets big, so now I'm nervous, right? So when I go in the house, I'm trying to put the fire out. When I run to the door, but when I get inside the house, I can't run. My mom will know something's going on. So I walk to the kitchen, and the only cup I could find was like a small little cup. It's like a teacup. I'll fill it up with water, and I'll walk. As soon as I close the door, I run to the dumpster and dump a little bit of water on this big fire. I'm doing that over and over until finally they're like, what's going on? And at this point, neighbors then came out. It was a big fire. Fire truck comes. My parents are highly upset.
Oh, my goodness.
It happened again. When, like,
what?
Yeah, family friend, her husband died. And we're there, same type of thing. My mom's in the house.
Wait,
whatever.
you were at a wake?
Yeah, I was at a wake.
What?
And I'm like outside with all the neighborhood kids. So I got them with me, like taking them through, like, you know, there's this little forest there. And I think somebody might have got evicted, so all their furniture was out there. So I get the kids with me to take the furniture and make this little clubhouse. I don't know what happened. My intrusive thoughts just, I don't know. I took this phone book, going through or whatever, and I just light it on fire. And then there's a desk that we had in the little clubhouse, so I put it in the desk, light it on fire, close it, and I just leave and I forget about it. In my head, I was just like, it's not a big deal. I'm sitting, I go back in the house actually, and I'm sitting, and mad fire trucks come, and I look.
What?
The forest is on, like, the place is on fire.
What?
And I know I did something bad when I'm scared. Normally I do bad stuff and I'm like, I find my way up, but I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
this is like the biggest fire I done caused.
Told you.
Everyone's like, yo, what? And the funny thing is, immediately they were like, this is God, man.
Yeah, of course.
God saved me. Something told me to throw the lighter, because the first thing they did was search me. It's like, you don't have a lighter. I'm like, it wasn't me. I don't have a lighter. So, you know, I slid my way up out of that one because no one really had proof.
And you were a child, right? Yeah.
Yo, it's so crazy, right?
They say that signs of arsony is it arson?
Arson, yeah.
Can be seen in young children.
You know, the funny thing is, I'm glad you said that because, like, I'm gonna let him tell it too. So, like, Kabine had a few nicknames, right? One created by me because I've seen it with my own eyes. They used to call him kleptomania, right? Not they used to. I called him kleptomania, but the school called him sticky finger. Now, let me tell you a story, right? Again, if I'm lying, I'm flying. My feet still on the ground, Ansu. I swear to God, lie to you not, bro. We in the gym one time, we working out, right? And for some reason, he always looked intrigued, right? It's like, have you seen, what's that movie? I can't remember the movie. Kabine always look like he's looking for treasure. What's that one movie with Nicolas Cage? Yeah, National Treasure, right? I swear to God, Kabine always looked like he's looking for something. He could have been one of the actors in Jumanji because he always like, you know, trying to find clues. But he not only looking for clues, he looking for clues to find items to steal, right? So we over there, we chilling or whatever. Everybody. He's the only one in the gym, fully clothed with a backpack on. Everybody look, what are you doing here? Like, bro, that's like coming to church, like, you know, like dress up with street clothes like you about to go to the club. Why are you here? Right? So I'm like, what is he? Is he about to leave, waiting on the bus or whatever? He's there, whatever. And then I'm not gonna lie, there's thick ass man, this big bull, bro. I'm not gonna lie. This big, huge man, everybody know him. His name was Butter. I don't know why they call him Butter because I don't know if he just ate butter just by himself or just whatever. But they call him Butter, right? So he comes like walking slow. You know how Butter walk? Walking slow as hell. So he's in the gym too. I don't understand why he's in the gym because he doesn't work out. So he's just there, whatever. And he see Kabine. And mind you, this man had this big drawers on. And that was like, he would put his drawers all the way on his back, on the side of his stomach. I don't know. That's just another story. But to describe so you guys can like visualize what I'm saying. Yeah. Right? So basically Shrek. Right? So Kabine comes in. I'm like, why this man keep walking? Whatever. And then Butter was like, he saw Kabine. Everybody working. Everybody busy. But everybody leave their backpack items. Like at the front, there's a big table where everybody put their stuff. Right? And then Butter see Kabine. It's like, you know, when you're looking for somebody for years and then you finally see him, or you know, somebody, you know, familiar face. Butter stop, he look. He said, wait a minute. It said, hey, yo, everybody, come get y'all stuff. Kabine here, he be stealing. I swear. He said, come get y'all stuff. He be stealing. Bro, he was yelling, bro. He my cousin, but the way he said, I was convinced. I didn't even have nothing. I took my socks off and put it back home. Yo, man, I said, no. Yo, listen. Right after that, right? You know what Kabine, usually somebody be like, yo, don't lie on me like that. Ooh. His reaction was like everybody else after Cat Williams came out. After Cat Williams attacked everybody, nobody say he was lying, right? So Kabine tell me if I'm lying. Don't be like the other people Cat Williams attacked. This man, right after he said that, he didn't even say, no, don't do it. Don't lie on me. You know what he did? He just laughed loudly. He was like, you know, I swear, bro. He was just, bro. That's how I know this man. He's made for this. He's made for stealing, bro. Kabine was a klepto. Am I lying?
No, but yeah. Okay, but listen, this didn't just start out of nowhere, bro.
Hey, yo,
like, you know what I mean? A lot of these kids, bro, growing up, they used to steal a lot of stuff from me. You know, I have stuff going missing, and it was a whole part of the whole going back and forth with people, and that bothered me. So it's like, it got to a point where I got frustrated, and, you know, that's what it started off. It really just started off as like my retaliation or whatever, but, you know, I think it just carried on and went too far. But middle school, high school,
and pranks and stuff like that, and hiding things.
Yeah.
So you telling me because of what happened with you with other people is the reason why? To me, if you ask me, I think you always kind of been a klepto. I'm surprised. Like before you got here, I told Lumso, we got cameras over there,
Stop, no, we did not have that conversation.
No, we did. I was like, yo, you know Kabine, like right now he probably have a piece of chicken in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm just joking. But
it's like, you know, I was always like into technology and stuff, so I would always have like, you know, like iPods, and
MP3s,
like, Palm Pilots and stuff. And like growing up, like my parents didn't even, you know, have it to get that stuff for me. So whatever I did, you know, trade stuff and like whatever, find ways to get stuff. And me, I hate losing stuff. So when that stuff would get stolen from me, it bothered me. And I remember specifically there was one Palm Pilot that I had I really liked. All my brothers liked it too. You put music on there, you could do a ton of stuff. We go to play basketball one day. It was laying right there. And it was between like two people. And I know they're lying, but you know, when people steal, they get to moving and I'm just searching and whatever. So they stole it and that bothered me, bro. It happened with multiple stuff. And then finally just got to a point where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take it to the max. I'm going to get everybody back. Everybody going to pay for that. And I just took it and just went with it. And just, it became a whole little series.
So he came with a vengeance.
That's funny.
And look, I'm going to look at you the whole time, right? And then I'm going to ask Kabine a question, right? And then
look at me, okay.
and he's going to tell the story himself, right? So Kabine, did you steal somebody's stuff and then sold it back to them? Explain. Tell us the story, please. Tell us the story.
Oh my God.
Tell us the story.
All right. So middle school, PSPs were popular. So I remember PSPs, like these little handheld PlayStation systems. And there was this kid, I probably won't say his name, but
yeah.
You know, I found his PSP or whatever, came across it or whatever. I don't know why I decided to do this. I probably thought it was just funny, but bro was pressed about losing this PSP, going around searching for it. I came back like 2 days later, like, I don't know who stole your PSP, but I can sell you another one. I'll sell it to you for cheap just because I feel bad for you. Somebody stole your PSP.
Lord.
Man.
And I was selling back to him. And when he found out, he just laughed. He was like, he told my brother, like, yeah, your brother is just different.
Yeah. Kabine came back like, Kabine came back, right? I don't have a new PSP, but I got the refurbished one. But nah,
man,
that happened.
Thank God for the unveiled moment and the turning points.
Wait, did you also, the reason I'm looking at you because I'm telling the truth. Did you also steal your cousin Baru's video game?
Oh, nah, that one wasn't stealing. Listen. Okay. Listen, I've been telling you the truth. So,
okay.
When Vice City came out, if all y'all remember, when Vice City first came out, everybody was intrigued by this game. Amazing game, right? So, we go to his house one weekend. Keep in mind, we go to his house for the weekend, right? So, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday as a kid, them 3 days be seeming long. So, he has the game or whatever, and we watch him play for the first couple hours. And we ain't really sweating him because it's like, we know the game is new. We just intrigued to even watch. So, boom. He's going to eat or something. So, we like, all right, bet. You know how kids be like, all right, damn, I got the next time I'm about to play. This motherfucker opens the system, takes the disc out, puts it in the case, and takes it with him to go eat.
Nah, that's crazy.
So, I'm like, wait. Did my own cousin we want to play Vice City. You're going to take it with you to the kitchen so we can't play the game. So I'm like, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe something happened that I don't know about. Okay, that night we didn't play. The next day, he plays again. Doesn't let us play. He's just, you know what I mean? He's not even sweating us. He's not worried about it. So I'm like, he can't be serious. No. So I'm like, all right. I don't say nothing. I sit and chill. I didn't ask him a couple times to play. He's telling nobody. Everybody just, you know, watch out. I'm like, bet. I'm like, I might not play it here, but I'm going to play it. So
I'm going to play this game one way or another.
On my way home with it, he had the disc laying somewhere. So, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm going to just borrow this. You know, at the time we had, you know, like Blockbuster. You can go borrow games and whatnot. I'm going to take this home with me. I'm going to go play it. So I went. Played it, told my brother. My brother just looked at me like, you can't be serious. But we played it. I ain't gonna let us. Man. But we gave it back to him. I even told him, like, bro, that's insanity, bro. You can't let us come to the... We can't play Grand Theft Auto Vice City. You can't have us sit and watch you play. Bro, that's mean.
Yeah.
Man.
That's
I'm
funny.
Like, yo, that's crazy.
It's like, it's crazy, bro.
He got it back, though. We gave it back to him.
And then after you stole another cousin's whole case of, like, games. You did. Am I lying? Yes, you did.
Borrowed those.
Bro, he stole a whole case of game, bro. I was there.
Yeah.
No. I think I was there for the other one, for the one Papi did. But he did that too. Kabine was just a klepto, right? He was just he was just stealing. And plus, he used to set me up too. One time, because he played football. One time I was used to listen to his MP3, listen to music. A nice one too. Remember that was the
iPod Classic. I was one of the first. It was a lot of things like the iPod Classic. I was one of the first people. And like, bro, when like, people would steal these things from me, I'm just like, man.
So I mean, he said honestly that was your fault because he was like, yo, we walking around by the football field and there's the locker room over there. He's like, because he know me, I'm a knucklehead. He was like, go over there. I bet you won't go in there. I said, who? Me? Watch me. I said, I'm going over there. Watch. He's like, I bet you won't. I went over there. So I go in. I see one of my friend Harrison, right? So I go in and shake his hands. And I turn around. And like it looked like a wall that was in front of me. And I look up. It was a whole human being. This man was like 6'6", right? I think I was in the 10th grade at the time. So I look up. Then I look behind him. There's more people over there. They're all buffed kind of football players. So I was like, what's up? He said, you should have never came in here. In my head, I was like, man, this man funny, bro. Probably tapped him on the shoulder. I'm like, ha, 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 you funny. He said, nah, I'm not laughing. You really messed up for coming in here. I'm like, what do you mean? They say, yo, guys, get him. I'm like, what is it? Like, I'm like, you know me, but you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm like, man.
And so then what happened? You ran? Like they were they able to catch you?
Right? No, I didn't. Wait, first of all, don't act like I'm gonna run and I'm a track star. I never ran track. No, I stand 6 toes down. I'm not gonna lie, 6 toes down, because my other toes was like, you know, kind of like, you know, injured. So my man Harrison is there, you know, Harrison, whatever. So I was like, man, nah. I said, I gotta do it. I can't act like, you know, I'm, you know what I'm saying? Because I seen people get wedgies in the locker room and all of that. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. So I was like, because they was gonna like try to give me a wedgie and then put me in the trash can. I'm like, no, I'm not.
What?
And because you know the thing is,
that's a real life thing.
If you go in, you can't go into the varsity locker room.
You can't.
If you're not on the varsity football team.
You can't.
So what we used to do is you come in the varsity locker room, like literally, like. Put your drawers over your head. Not
way.
Pull your drawers.
Like in the movies.
Yeah. Pull them. Because some people.
What kind of? First of all, can't you tell the authorities?
Man.
At authorities, we all still go to the same school.
Get them suspended over and over and over and over and over again.
I seen a guy in the locker room, bro. They ripped his drawers to his butt cheeks, bro. It was. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't know what he ate. Maybe he ate a chocolate fudge. I don't know what he ate, but when they ripped his drawers, I swear, bro, it was a little chocolate stain, bro. It was a little chocolate stain on the drawers, bro. No. So, man, my man told me that he go through like 20 drawers per semester that get ripped.
What?
Bro, I swear to God, bro.
What?
They were giving people, right after, like, you know, gym class, like, you about to go back to the locker room to change. They were ripping drawers left to right.
That's first of all, that sounds wild.
Yo, but look, though. So they thought they had a victim. No. Yeah, at the end of the day, man, I'm from Guinea. I'm African. It's not happening. So I squared up. I said, "What's up? You're not touching me, right?" So the whole time I had the MP3 like in my pocket or whatever with the you know, headphones or whatever. So the guy that was in front was like 6'6", so he tried to grab me. You know, I thought, you know, he like, you know, I'm like, okay, he probably gonna like ragdoll me. He's not even that strong. So that man grabbed me, he couldn't move me nowhere. So he tried to pick me up. So I did the little African move. I wrapped my leg around his leg. Like, he tried to pick me up, he couldn't go up. He tried to pick me up, couldn't go up. And they tried to pull me and they kind of stumbled and he let me go. And the other guys came around, tried to grab me. So I squared. I'm like, y'all touch me, we gonna fight. I'm like, you either gonna, like, you know what I'm saying, beat me up or we fighting. So I squared up. So in the mix of doing that, the thing came out of my pocket and fell down. I didn't even know, right? So Harrison was like, yo, nah. He said, nah, we ain't doing that, bro. That's my man's. Woo. So I squared up. And then they was like, oh, and then the tall guys like, yo, I respect you, bro. Like, you know, you stay. But look, I'm not gonna lie to you. If I tell you that I wasn't scared, I'm not telling the truth. Bro, I was scared, boy. So, because at the end of the day, they're gonna be like, yo, you got your drawers ripped. And they put you in the trash can, because that's what they usually do.
Oh,
right?
No.
So
dog, you lost his iPod?
Yeah, I lost it, right? So my dog's getting excited right now.
Classic. You remember we had the iPods with no screen, right?
Yeah.
When the iPod came out, they had the screen.
Yep, the black one.
I was one of the first one to have it.
No, wait. I know you're not about to say. You put me in that predicament. How you going? Listen, how you going? Imagine, right? You give me $20K to hold. It's your money. And then we go somewhere, you set me up. I get attacked and I lose your $20K or your $10K. Is that my fault? Come on, man. He gonna go like, I'm like, what? You put me in that predicament. Nah. Because You worry about your MP3. I don't worry about my drawers and my reputation. Which one is more at risk? Bro, we could never find it. We went back looking for it, but somebody took that. I mean, look, what goes around comes around, right? All right, Mr. Kleptomania got his stuff clapped. So yeah, that was the story, bro. So
yeah,
that was good.
So I think do you want to go ahead and ultimately those were super hilarious. Sounds like you guys had an amazing time. Sometimes or at least in hindsight, right? Ooh. And there are a lot of moments there, underlining moments throughout your childhood that were unveiled moments, whether you recognize it at the time or now you look hindsight, right? Including the fact that you were interested in different things and unique things, and you were able to stand strong in that, and the fact that you had, you know, an influence from a teacher that cared a lot about you. And that impacted you to begin reading a lot of different types of books and be interested in knowledge and other things. So I think that's, I definitely think that's amazing. Do you want to go ahead and do the veiled or unveiled session?
Yeah. So whenever you're ready. So we're going to pretty much just like, I'm going to throw out words. So usually we do words and concept, but today we're going to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to give you like words. I'm going to give you like names. I'm going to give you like concepts, places and stuff like that. So you can either say veiled or unveiled, right? Veiled mean good. No, veiled mean bad. Unveiled mean good, right? Yeah. So, okay. So we're going to start whenever you're ready. All right. So Tupac.
Unveiled.
Okay. Yeah. Now, marriage for you.
It's unveiled.
Unveiled? Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Your family, like your family concept of life as of right now.
Unveiled.
Okay. So, you know, unveiled is good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure. Not attacking nobody because yeah. So okay. State of Guinean mindset as of today.
Veiled.
Veiled.
And then let's specify that.
Yeah.
And in the diaspora versus
both.
Both. Okay. And we can touch on that on some other time. But yeah, Cat Williams.
You know. It's hard for me to say because one thing about me, as much as I love the internet and what it brings, is like I don't like to be quick to jump to conclusions about what we see on the internet. There's always multiple sides to it. I listen to it, but I normally like, you know, between us, so I might have like share opinions about certain parts, but I won't be quick to like how a lot of people are like, oh, you just exposed Hollywood, or Kevin Hart is this, oh, and these people. In the end, we're viewers, the like third party to this. You know? We're so far away that we wouldn't know what the truth was if they put it in front of us.
That's true.
We're not there. You know? True. So I could say unveiled the fact that he was, you know, confident enough to get up there and share these things and be confident with who he is. And I mean, we know he is like, you know, as far as his accomplishments and as far as his accomplishments, and he is a smart person.
Goku, stop.
Sorry, guys. Our
I think he's
dog.
He's seeing himself on TV and it's driving him crazy. But as far as his accomplishments, who he is, and like getting up there is entertaining, I could say unveiled. But at the same time, to see somebody, you know, attack other great comedians and people like that and make other people feel self-conscious and all that, and like, what's the end goal? What's the purpose? I understand the mindset now of like, don't sell your soul and all that.
In truth.
But in the end, it's like, bro, we live in, it's really capitalism. Capitalism, you have to give to get. You're going to give something. You're going to give your time. You're going to sacrifice. That's what it is in reality. And who's to tell another man like Kevin Hart, okay, the dress wearing thing or whatever. Me personally, I don't think that's just directed towards black men. There's white actors who, you know, have that too. But who's to say that you can tell these people not to contribute to that? Don't go be a part of Hollywood. Don't make this money. Don't support your family. And if they do, they're bad. And like, we look at them some type of way. Kevin Hart is not a bad person. All these other people are not bad.
Yeah, they're definitely not a bad person.
You know, so I
mean, I don't know him personally, but from just like you said, from third party perspectives, like he doesn't. I don't think he's a bad person. At the end of it, it's all for entertainment purposes. Cat Williams got his reason why he's doing that, and it's personal. But for us, we're just looking at it from like entertainment view. Like it's funny. You know, it might have some truth to it. It might have some lies to it. It might be exaggerated, but at the end of the day, it's fun. So your answer for that is,
I would say veiled.
Okay, veiled. Okay.
Okay.
And You gonna like this one. P. Diddy.
P. Diddy is super veiled.
Okay.
We are third party,
That's
but
good.
I will say, in my opinion,
Super veiled.
I believe a lot of that stuff about Diddy.
Yeah.
Diddy is different.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Joe Biden?
Veiled.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Oof.
Oh yeah, I'm not a fan of Joe Biden.
Okay.
Okay.
What about Donald Trump?
He himself is not unveiled. But the time period that Donald Trump came in for this country was unveiled.
Okay, I like that. So okay. You gonna like this one?
So he's veiled, but
He's veiled. Donald
Okay.
Trump is Donald Trump. But the fact that who he is and what he did and made us look at ourselves in the country in such a different light, I think that was an unveiled moment for Americans.
Okay. I'll just state it because it's gonna
Yeah.
Okay, so old cabinet versus new cabinet. Is old cabinet veiled or unveiled?
Old cabinet was, I would say, compared to now, definitely veiled.
Okay.
But I did a lot of stuff. I have no regrets about anything in life. It made me who I am today.
Yeah.
But I always knew that there was more I wanted to do. I always wanted to branch out and do different things. And, each period of my life, I feel like in my mind, I was elevating and looking at life from perspectives that allowed me to get to where I am now. So compared, I would say veiled because it definitely wasn't as, unveiled and elevated and enlightened as I am today.
Okay.
But
So new cabinet is unveiled.
definitely.
Okay. So all right, two places.
Nice.
Washington, veiled or unveiled?
Washington, where? State?
Nah, DC.
DC?
Yeah.
DC, I say unveiled.
Unveiled.
It's been a great experience.
Okay.
Being in that area.
And for the last one, Michigan.
Michigan is.
Whoa. Be careful now. Yeah.
If you're talking
Or
about
where you grew up, where specifically your environment, the
It's-
environment in which you grew up.
Michigan is veiled. Man.
So you telling me Ypsilanti, Michigan, where we from, where we grew up, is veiled?
Veiled, man.
Okay.
So super veiled.
So
Actually,
you're-
extremely.
So you can you confidently say that, maybe 80% of those people over there probably gonna have to look up the word veiled and unveiled, because they probably.
I don't think some of those people even know where to look to find out.
Oh, yo.
It's like,
All right, hey, we ain't gonna tolerate too many slander from Michigan. You feel me? Like, yeah, I want you though. I want you.
Nah, Michigan is just different, man. Like, I
No.
love Michigan. Wherever
No.
I go, I have no problem telling people that's where I'm from.
I love
the
Michigan,
place.
bro.
It's just that evolving there and trying to evolve in Michigan is hard when you got this, small space and you got these people who all think alike, and it's like everyone wants to box each other in. It's like, like I was going to tell you, like everybody wants to limit themselves to what they can do. When you fall out of that box, they won't make you feel like an outcast. When you're in an environment like that, nobody really grows. And even when you want to grow, you're not given that room to. You'll meet people there. There are definitely a list of people in Michigan that I've met that helped me get me unveiled. But
Yeah.
I had to leave Michigan to branch out, bro. I had to leave to grow.
Yeah.
That was key for me.
So okay.
Okay.
So that's
Sounds good.
that's been a great show.
Yeah. And we're very thankful, of taking the time and joining us on this episode.
But
So-
we have to close out with the unveiled law. Each episode, we're gonna come up with the unveiled law. We have to come up with the unveiled law and then close it out.
Okay.
Okay. So today, based on this conversation, we're gonna, get words from out of thin air. Well, not out of thin air, but based on the idea of this conversation.
Yeah.
And then create a law. So let's go. What's one, like with this interview, right? Or this whole podcast, what's one word that you can use to define this whole,
Your
Growth.
yeah, growth? Okay.
okay.
Growth.
What about you, Nimsa?
I think something that really stuck out to me, and I said this before, I think that that law that you just read kind of is aligned with the overall theme of his growth as he
It's okay.
bring it back.
Yeah.
but no, as I definitely think that the law that you just read right now, it actually is a really good theme of his background and how he ended up, you know, his turning points and his unveiled moments. However, I would say in addition to that, one other thing that sticks out to me is the story about the teacher. So
Miss
something
Kabine.
yeah, so something like, I don't know, I want to like make it align with like that story somehow. Okay. Like maybe like an impact, like some sort of like the little things you do can lead to like significant growth or something, but like more.
I like that. That's a nice draft. We can just. I like that being the start of that.
Yeah.
So, keep going. You're on a good path.
That's the main thing. I'm thinking we can let's shape it.
So basically, like you say, the little things.
Yeah.
Are what?
The little things you do, or the little things in life, or growth can come from big or small things in life.
I like that.
Yeah, basically like those small efforts.
Yeah. Yep. You know, the skateboarding. Okay. The standing on your own, right? Okay. Yeah. Against everyone in the neighborhood when they thought you were an outlier. The teacher telling you to come a couple minutes before class or a half an hour before class to pick a different book that you want, right? All of these little things in life can lead to significant growth.
Okay, so
what was it? How did I say?
You said something like every. I mean, it's good because like this is how because it's authentic. We're not just saying things right out of nowhere because we're using our experience and our conversation to come up with something that's enlightening. That's the whole point of this Unveiled Mindset, right? So she started really good, but the only problem is she have to take control of her subconscious so she can remember what she just said. So now I told you. Now the small things.
The small things in life can lead to significant growth.
Okay. So I think small.
What do you think?
Small, consistent efforts, you know, allow growth, which brings impactful outcomes.
Okay. Well, let me
rewind that.
You're gonna write that down. Okay. Let's go again. What is it?
So it says small, consistent efforts allow growth, which bring impactful outcomes.
Okay.
Read it again.
Small, consistent effort allow growth, which bring impactful outcomes. Okay.
Small, consistent efforts
allow growth, which bring impactful outcome. And then so what you said. Also, let me write that down. You said this.
What about small, consistent efforts sets forth the platform or sets forth the foundation that nurtures growth?
Ooh. I like that. Yeah.
Ooh. Sets forth the nature.
Okay, small, consistent effort
sets forth
the platform
that nurtures growth.
Yeah.
Platform
that nurtures growth.
Unveiled
law.
Small, consistent effort set forth the platform to nurture growth. Unveiled law number 2, created by us.
Yep. So, I like that. So thank you guys for tuning in. Kabine, thank you for coming and thank you for joining the conversation. Yep. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe down below, like, share, comment.
Yep.
And yeah, stay tuned. We'll be dropping videos each week and make sure you follow the page.
Unveil _mindset on Instagram. Follow us. We're going to put all the information in the description, or we're going to put his page there too if you want to find him, you know, link with him or whatever. In case you want to ask him a question, we're going to do that. And we're out.
Bye.
She be dropping bombs, make all of them double back. Then the crime raises. It's something they never gonna get that, but it's cool. Let's sit back and chit chat.